a night where they just didn't have the size. They couldn't lean on what's worked for them all season. So it's not just beating Rutgers, which is important. Good win for the resume. It's also, to me, how they won the game. They had to win differently. They had to win adjusting. Buffkin, where's he been?
Right.
That's noteworthy to me, how Michigan came out and responded.
And they played defense. That is something that, it's been one of those questions. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, well, they played defense because it was Phil Martelli. I think this team, they were shook, on Sunday. And it was, okay, you're not going to have your head coach. You're not going to have these couple players for this game against Rutgers. And for the rest of the season, it is a win, or when the Big Ten tournament's done, you're done. NIT, you could say all those things, but for the most part, you are done. And these players' backs are against the wall.
Oh, you're tired.
They're dealt a hand that is not ideal, and it's not just what happened on Sunday. They've dealt themselves this hand by not being a consistent team, by not being a consistent shooting team, or a consistently, good at defense, or doing the things that Juwan Howard and this staff has asked them to do. Last night we saw them get back to the basics. They did that, and I'm curious your take on this, because everybody's going to say, well, I'm looking through my blue glasses, and it's just, hey, Michigan won. It was Rutgers, big deal. They shot, like you mentioned, not great from behind the arc. They were 32%. But Rutgers was an awful 16.5% from behind the arc. How much of this was a Michigan win? How much of this was just simply a Rutgers loss on the road?
Okay, so you could argue, going on the road, poor shooting night, those things go hand in hand, and Michigan simply capitalized. But it would be ignoring how well Rutgers has played of late, because Rutgers, prior to losing to Michigan and Purdue, they had rattled off 4 straight wins, all against teams that were ranked at the time. They beat number 13 MSU handily. They beat Ohio State. They beat Wisconsin at the Kohl Center, nearly double digits. And then they rattled off a win against Illinois by double digits, 4 straight wins. Rutgers, you look at their standing in the Big Ten right now, and they've had a better season than Michigan has.
Oh, yeah.
So then I'm not going to take anything away from that win. I don't think you have to worry about the shade of the glasses you're wearing. I think it is what it is. It's a really good win for Michigan, because we talked about it yesterday on the show. The standard was you got to win 3 of the 5. And if you had lost this game, you would have to go 3-1 against the toughest teams on your schedule. Rutgers, this win paves some path for you to go 500 and get into the tournament.
2-2, that's all they got to do. They got 3 of them at home. They traveled down to Columbus to end the season. And so I'll ask you today, it's because we have some new information, right? The way that they played last night, the fact that they did get a win, you think they're in? Or do you think they will be in? Because getting 2 wins, like we say, okay, all you got to do is go 500. Well, going 500 in this schedule is not going to be an easy task, because it's Illinois, right? And they just beat the team that beat Illinois a couple of days ago, right? And
it's
transitive properties is it's a little bit tough to do, but you've got number 15 Illinois, Michigan State, and we know what that game means between these 2 programs. Iowa, who's still at number 25, and then Ohio State. Can they get 2 wins out of it?
Okay, so I don't know about their chances against Illinois. I think it's good to get Diabate back. You're going to need size against Coburn. I think Illinois is a better team, and will probably win that game on the road. Michigan State, I have no idea. I think Michigan State is in a really rough spot, and you're playing that game at home, and you got beat pretty bad the last time you played. So I could see Michigan playing well at home and maybe splitting the next 2 here. Iowa's a problem. They've gotten red hot right now. And Ohio State, I could see 1 and 3 in this, 2 and 2. It's in play. I don't feel great about it.
Okay, 1 and 3.
And then you win a Big Ten tournament game.
A Big Ten tournament game.
With Juwan Howard back on the sideline, John. Write the narrative now. Oh, Martelli, he kind of writes the ship, but they need one last push with Juwan on the sideline. Storybook stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see where they slot in the Big Ten tournament. They did a whole bunch on that pregame last night. I was watching some of the Big Ten Network pregame, and they said Michigan, Indiana would be that opening game, that 8-9 Yes.
in the Big
I
Ten
think
tournament.
they'll win 2 more games the rest of the season, John.
And the disappointing part, and we did consult our resident mathematician, that being Rico Beard. He said there was and it was very specific, right? A 95% chance that Michigan and Wisconsin are not matched up at any point other than the Big Ten tournament championship game.
I was like Herb Brooks to him. Again, run the numbers again. Again, we need this matchup in the tournament for the drama. And he goes, dude, I'm sorry, I ran it a bunch of times. What if Wisconsin wins out? What if Michigan wins out? What if they lose out? What if...
Yeah.
A very slim to none chance that they would meet unless it's very late championship kind of game in the Big Ten tournament. 248-539-9797. You got your first look against... if your first look without Juwan Howard against another team, Phil Martelli steps in. Michigan gets a win. Do you believe they can go on a run here? Their tournament chances. Greg Hargrave had a great stat about where Michigan ranks in the net. The tournament chances, we can mix that in a little bit. 635. Broadcasting dominoes. How you watch pro football and who you watch it with could be changing this fall. It's 97.1.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Still accident-free on the roads this morning. A few light flurries right now, but not too bad. Keep in mind, Heinz Drive is still closed due to flooding between Ann Arbor Trail and Middlebelt. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. NECA contractors like GSI Electrical Services, who provide security and life safety systems, project after project, on time and on budget. Learn more at smcnica.org. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Hey, you want to get away, relax, have a great time? It's the D Las Vegas. They've got everything you need. They got gaming tables. They got slots. They got the long bar where lots of fun takes place. They got the new sports book, Bar Canada. Lots of fun. Downtown is a blast. The odds are really better. They got great food. Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse. They got American Coney Island. You know what else they got? They got the best bang for your buck. Go to the D.com right now. Check out the rates. You won't find any place as nice as the D or as little cost as the D. Now go to Vegas. Have a wonderful time. It's a great place. I believe Mike and Rico will be there for week 1, so you want to book that right now. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Las Vegas.
When it comes to cybersecurity, the biggest threats don't always strike the biggest targets. Almost half of all cyber attacks target small businesses. So help protect yours with Comcast Business Security Edge. It's advanced security that continuously scans for threats and helps protect every connected device. On the largest, fastest, reliable network with speeds up to 10 gigs to the most small businesses. So switch today and get cutting-edge speed with advanced security and be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security. Together for just $60 a month for 24 months. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Call or go online today to find out more. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Prepaid card offer ends 3/21/22.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using the code STONY and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. Plus, you'll earn BetMGM rewards points that can be redeemed for online bonuses or converted into comps for rooms, restaurants, and more at over 20 MGM resorts in Las Vegas and nationwide. Download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter STONY as your code, STONEY, and place your first wager risk-free. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket and Beaumont's Student Heart Check program provides a healthy heart check for students whose families might not otherwise be able to afford it. Go to 971theticket.com, search Student Heart Check, and help make a difference in our community.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. Right now, you can do the complete job and get a great deal when you buy a set of Duralast brake pads and rotors. It's also AutoZone's national hiring event. We're hiring all positions, from sales to warehouse and drivers, both part-time and full-time. Visit careers.autozone.com or any one of our stores. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
To demonstrate the power of Cricket nationwide 5G, we brought in this monster truck. And to tell you Cricket 5G is available on every plan at no extra charge, we brought in this fleet of monster trucks. Now that's power! Get powerful nationwide 5G on all plans at no extra charge. Plus a Cricket Dream 5G phone free when you switch. Tastes like power too. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
In a world where a single touch can threaten the surfaces of your home, there's Microban 24. Just one spray fights bacteria all day.
Bacteria incoming. Shields up, defenders.
When used as directed, Microban 24 sanitizing spray forms a defensive shield that keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch.
Threat eliminated.
Microban 24. Don't just sanitize it, microban it. Now spraying in a store near you.
If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Do you have an opinion? Of course you do. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jansen.
Hey, John, you can't be surprised that we're getting some of these ticket texts. So predictable. Ready? Yeah. Michigan should have fired Juwan Howard when they had the chance. Martelli got more out of Michigan than Howard has all year. Beat a hot Rutgers team. We already have the Martelli for head coach campaign. It's begun. It was a good win last night.
Yes. Yeah. Well, when you shoot better than the other team, that happens. And it's, you know what? We know that's going to happen, and it's only going to increase if they do go on that run and they find a way to beat Illinois, Michigan State. Well, let's just say they go 5-0. Can you imagine the conversation come March the 7th?
Well, here's the text that plays that scenario out. We asked the question, could Michigan go on a run here? What do you think about their tournament chances now that you saw them one game without Juwan on the sideline? Texter says if Martelli coaches this team well enough that they make the tournament, shouldn't he be rewarded by continuing to coach into the tournament and not reward Juwan Howard?
That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take because it's not, you know, Phil Martelli's 67 years old, right? You're not going to look at it and go, well, he should be the head coach moving forward.
No.
But if he does get on a run, it would be interesting to see what they would do. I don't think that administration's going to look at it and say, well, you know, Juwan just sit on the bench for a while. That's not a good look for Juwan, for Michigan, if that's the way they end up going. Here's what I do think it can happen, or why that Michigan could get on a run of playing well. Right? I'm not saying well enough to beat Illinois, Michigan State, Iowa, Ohio State, but to play well in the final 5 games when controversy hits a program. And clearly, Michigan's basketball team and program is in the middle of a huge controversy for Juwan Howard, slapping another coach. Yeah, he's suspended and won't be there. For an athlete, when all of that conversation is going on in the media, and you've got to go to press conferences and answer the question of, sideline? What's it like not having Juwan Howard at practice? All of these questions will continue to be asked because they have to be, right? It's just part of the situation and the scenario that Michigan is in and created for themselves right now. But when you practice, or when you play the games, that's where these athletes that's their safe place. It's you step across that line, and no matter what is going on, whether it's in the program, in your personal life, you get a chance to put that all behind and just be a basketball player. Focus on what you're doing for 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it is. And there's great relief in that. There can be great focus in that. And if they can continue to have that focus and to have that, all I want to do is get on the basketball court and silence all of the noises. You're not going to silence the critics. You're not going to do any of that, but you can silence the noise for a fraction of your day.
It's interesting. Are you trying to rally around the Juwan stuff, or almost kind of go blank and ignore it?
You could be doing both. When you're in the locker room, and this is where I start to, when I think about as a player, like the locker room stuff, where somebody on the opponent says something and it's bulletin board material. When you're playing the game, those things don't enter your mind. I don't think they have as much of an effect on players as they do on the fan base and how the fans act during the game and the vitriol sometimes that it will create. So, yes, in the locker room, hey, let's win for the program. Let's win for our coach. At halftime, that could be a part of the conversation. But during the game, that's not going to be what they're thinking about. They're simply focused on putting all of that aside because there is so much conversation around it, and just simply, I don't care what's going on. Like these, especially since they're like 18 to 21-year-old kids, don't really care what's going on. But when I'm on the court, I can simply be me. I don't have to answer questions. I don't have to be a certain way. All I have to do is be me, and there can be great focus in that.
Ticket text to 248-539-9797. All right, this one says, I don't know if either of you watched the game, but they were awful. Like, are you guys really saying, what do you mean Michigan was awful? John, what I'm going to tell this person, college basketball is a tough watch at times. Both teams were struggling to score for a stretch. The score was 32-30 at the half. It's not like either team was
lighting it up.
Right.
And that's why I said, was it more of a Michigan win or a Rutgers loss?
But the point is, if you judge it through the lens of college basketball is a bad product. Michigan used an 11-0 run to separate in the second half. This wasn't all emotion from a hot start that they just kind of eked out a win.
Yeah.
They had a big 11-0 run led by a freshman who people have been waiting to see step up, Caleb Houston. He scores 21 career high. You got decent play from your point guard. Hello, that's been a challenge all season. When you start seeing things you haven't seen all year, hey, they're playing small ball predominantly. What? Adjusting to the personnel and winning against a good basketball team. I'm not telling you they executed everything super well. I'm not telling you it was an easy watch or an aesthetically pleasing watch or that Michigan's some great basketball team. But we highlighted how important winning this game was yesterday. So to be consistent and to be fair to them, to go out and play the way they did and pick up a win and keep their season alive, make this a little easier for them to get in the tournament, yeah, that's worth talking up right now. People have a hard time giving somebody credit.